What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Stoic Outdoors. If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Joaquin, your host, and if you enjoy South Texas fishing and hunting videos, subscribe today. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Also, shout out to Waterland Co for these sick sunglasses. If you guys are interested in purchasing some, head over to waterlandco.com, use coupon code STOIC, that is STOIC, to save some money. So a few weeks ago, I went out with Captain Jacob out in Port Mansfield, Texas, man. He says, and I say, and everyone says, Port Mansfield is the fishing capital of the Rio Grande Valley, man. Why? Because in Port Mansfield, you can catch some big speckled trout, some big redfish, and some big flounders. So we went out fishing and the water temperature was right at like 67, 68 degrees. It was super cold in the morning, but it warmed up pretty quick. Started off fishing, there wasn't much wind at all, so I was bomb casting a topwater. I was trying to get that extra casting distance with the topwater, and then a little bit later on in the day, wind picked up to about 10 miles an hour, and then we started fishing this flats area. So I wanted to break it down a little bit for you guys, and then I'm gonna overlay one of the catches that I got on camera, but I didn't put it in the last video. So whenever you're fishing this area or any shallow water for that matter, I like to throw a medium light rod because I'm going to be throwing artificial lures, right? You can also throw an ultralight rod if that's what you like to do. But just remember, if you're throwing artificial lures all day, you want to be comfortable. So you want to be able to cast that lure out there. You're going to be retrieving that lure over 100 to 200 times, maybe even 1,000 times if you're fishing the entire day. So just remember, have something that you're comfortable with popping that lure so your wrist isn't hurting, your arm isn't hurting, and also that extra little bit of bend, that extra little bit of pop in your rod is going to make that lure dance the way you want it to. So yeah, the type of rod, that's gonna be the tip number one. Throw a medium light, that's what I like to throw, or you can throw an ultralight if that's what you want to do. But the second tip is always remember, when it's super shallow, just remember what size of jig head you have. What do you mean by that? When you cast that lure out there, let's just say you're throwing a 1/4 ouncer, that means that lure is gonna fall a lot faster as opposed to a 1/16 or a weedless jig head. So I like to throw a 1/8 ounce because it gives you that in the middle, in between. So before you even cast that lure out there, what you can do is you can just toss it right next to you, right next to where you're standing, and count 1, 2, 3, and that's how long it takes to hit the bottom. So when you cast that lure out there, you know it's gonna take 1, 2, 3 for that lure to hit the bottom. Also, I said in the last video, man, whenever you're fishing and you see like a grass flat, don't forget it, man. Don't just like walk over it. Oh, that's too bright. That's a little bit better. So whenever you see that grass flat, cast that lure out there, rip it through the grass or work the edges. A lot of the times those redfish, trout, and flounder, they're hanging out ready to ambush a meal. So whenever you see something dark, something green in the water, something black, that's gonna be a grassy area. Cast that lure out there and hold on. Hopefully that redfish or trout will hammer your lure. The third and final tip for you guys, whenever you're fishing, especially when it's wintertime, man, I have had a lot of luck in downsizing my lure. My new lure is gonna be coming out here pretty soon, hopefully within the month. So fish with whatever lure you're comfortable with, but if you're not catching fish, try downsizing. Hopefully that works for you. Just because I like you guys, here are some extra tips, man. I learned a lot of this stuff from fishing with a lot of captains, so I'm gonna spare you guys the time, the energy, especially if you're gonna be paying for wade fishing trips or paying for charters. Here is some secret info. Not really secret, right? But a lot of people know it, but I'm gonna help you guys out either way. Just remember this, man. Dark water, dark color lure. Light water, clear water, throw something a little bit more natural. Whenever you're fishing, pay attention to your surroundings as well. If you see a shrimp pop, if you see a mullet pop, you might want to throw something that looks like that because that's what those redfish, trout, or flounders are feeding on. Also, shallow water, just remember, I like to throw something with a little bit lighter diameter line. Why? Because those redfish and trout, they're going to be a little bit more alert. So you want to be able to cast that lure and reach a little bit further than your buddies can. Because if they're throwing something heavier, they're not going to get the same casting distance that you are. That looks horrible, right? Just like that. I like to throw a leader line at the end of my braid. Why? Because it's super invisible in that water, man. If you use something like Berkley Vanish or any other brand that you guys want to do, I'm not promoting Berkley Vanish because I'm not sponsored by them, but that Berkley Vanish literally vanishes in the water. So those trout, redfish, and flounder, all they're gonna see is your natural color lure, right? Because it's clear water, your natural color lure running through that water. They're not gonna see that leader line. They're not gonna see your swivel because you're not using any swivel, and they're gonna hammer your lure. Shout out to Captain Jacob, Captain Dan, Jeremy, Fern, all my buddies, Albert, all my buddies that have showed me these tips and tricks. Shout out to you guys, appreciate you guys. So for this video specifically, man, I know there's gonna be people commenting, what was the setup that you were using? I was using a 7-foot medium light Palo rod. It was a, I believe it was a Palo Rojo. Yeah, it was a Palo Rojo, and I was using a 2500 Vanford 10-pound Power Pro and a 1/8 Norton screw lock jig head, and I was catching those fish. Who knows, guys? Maybe I will be coming out with my own line of rods. Who knows? Stick around, man. Let's go back to the other side of the house and keep you guys going with these tips, man. This is like the uncut footage, man. Walking back and forth. I keep recording videos, and usually I just like stay in the same spot, but I wanted to try it out and switch spots for you guys. Maybe that's a trick to get more view time. We'll find out. Pop quiz. If you're fishing dark water, what color do you use? Good job, bro. If you're fishing clear water, what color do you use? Good job, bro. Just remember, all these tips and tricks are great, but find out what you like, find out what works for you, and stick with it. So it's one thing to talk about it, guys, but I wanted to show you guys an actual clip of me fishing in Port Mansfield, Texas with Captain Jacob. Look how shallow that water was, man. I was keeping my rod tip up, casted that natural looking lure, which I'm going to be telling you guys in about 2 or 3 weeks. My own lures are going to be dropping on my website, so stick around for that. And I was giving it a constant retrieve, and that redfish hammered my lure. So this is going to be the first clip. I'm going to overlay 2 clips right after this, just to give you guys another example of how to master how to fish shallow water for redfish. Massive redfish. There he is, guys. There he is. There he is, guys. Got him. That was awesome, man. Wow. Big redfish. I hope the GoPro's recording. That was awesome, man. Casted the lure a little to the right of him so I didn't scare him. Sure enough, man. Yes, sir. Got another one, boys. Let's see if I can land this guy already. Oh yeah, that's a bigger redfish, boys. All right, boys, we're hooked up, man. Yes, sir. I was walking along the edges, saw a blow up, casted at it. Yes, sir. Nice red. Nice red. Yes, sir, Bob. Got him, boys. Nice red on that AM lure. Took a while, but we got one. Nice redfish. But yeah, guys, hopefully those tips help you guys out. If you guys have any tips that you want to share for other people to check out, drop them down below and let's make this a learning environment. Back in the truck we go, guys. Back in the truck we go, because it's actually kind of colder than I thought it was going to be. But thank you guys for watching this video all the way through. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And always be resilient on the water and off. Peace.